Hello there. EvelynAnnParker.com is interesting, because at first glance it looks like a well-built boutique brand, but when you start connecting the details, things don't feel as solid as they appear. Let's go through Evelyn Ann Parker step by step and see what's actually going on behind the scenes. So if you land on the website, the first thing you'll notice is that it presents itself as a fashion boutique. The store mainly focuses on women's clothing, including dresses, tops, footwear, and accessories. The overall theme is elegant and trendy, and it tries to position itself as a stylish brand with a premium feel. Now here's where it gets important. The website also pushes a strong brand story. It describes itself as a long-running boutique with years of experience and a family-style background. On the surface, this sounds convincing, but whenever a website makes such claims, it's always worth checking whether those claims match the actual history of the website. If you look at the design, it does a good job at first impression. The layout is smooth, product categories are neatly arranged, and the visuals are polished. It feels like a proper online store. But if you've seen a lot of similar websites, you might notice that the structure follows a very common pattern used by many newly created e-commerce stores. Now let's talk about one of the biggest factors, the age of the website. When you check how long this domain has existed, it turns out to be extremely new, only a few days old. This creates a clear mismatch. On one side, the website claims to have years of history, and on the other side, the domain itself is brand new. That's something you should definitely not ignore. Moving further, take a look at the About Us section. The page focuses heavily on storytelling, talking about passion, craftsmanship, and customer satisfaction. But when you read it carefully, you'll notice that it lacks specific details. There's no clear information about the people behind the business or any verifiable background. It feels more like a generic brand story rather than something concrete. Now coming to contact details, this is another area where clarity matters. A well-established business usually provides multiple ways to reach them, including a proper address and direct support channels. Here, the information appears limited and not very detailed, which can make things difficult if a customer needs help later. Let's talk about policies for a moment. The website does include return and refund information, but this is where you should slow down and read carefully. In many cases with similar stores, the return process can involve conditions that are not immediately obvious, such as strict timelines or additional costs. Shipping is another area to pay attention to. The site gives general delivery information, but doesn't always make everything crystal clear. When shipping details are not very specific, it can lead to confusion about how long orders will actually take to arrive. Now looking at payment options, the website supports common payment methods, which is standard. But this is something many websites have, so it shouldn't be taken as proof of reliability on its own. If you go through the product listings, you'll notice that the visuals are quite appealing. The items look well presented and professionally photographed. However, experienced buyers often check whether these images appear elsewhere online, because reused images are quite common in similar types of stores. Another thing that stands out is the pricing. A large number of items are positioned as discounted deals. Instead of occasional offers, it feels like the entire catalog is built around reduced pricing. When that pattern repeats across almost every product, it's worth asking whether it's a genuine sale or just a pricing strategy. Now let's come to customer feedback. One key issue here is the lack of strong independent reviews. There isn't much reliable external feedback available, which makes it harder to understand the real experience of previous buyers. Along with that, some analysis platforms have already marked this website as high risk with low trust scores. Putting everything together, EvelynAnnParker.com looks like a newly created online fashion store that is trying to present itself as an established boutique brand. The design and presentation are convincing, but there are clear gaps when it comes to transparency and verified background. If you're thinking about buying from this website, it's better to take a step back, double-check everything, and avoid making quick decisions based only on how the site looks. Online shopping is easy, but a few extra minutes of checking can save you from bigger problems later. If you want more breakdowns like this, make sure to subscribe. This channel is all about helping you spot the details that most people miss.